A pleasant morning to you. We thank you for joining us on the Ogtv A.M. News. My name is Adeshino Anedube. The National Convention of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Abuja is to be held today as delegates from all the 32 states of the Federation have arrived in the Federal Capital Territory for the event. Aman Tunde Olaniro, who is in Abuja, reports that arrangements have been concluded to have a hate-free convention where national executive officers will be elected. Accreditation of delegates will precede the convention, where the interim national officers led by Chief Bisi Akonde will present reports to the delegates. Ogun State delegates are led by the party chairman, Alhaji Rakib Adeniji, while Ogun State Governor, Senator Ibikunle Amoson, with other party faithful, are participating in the process to elect pioneer national officers for the biggest opposition party in Nigeria. It should be recalled that the All Progressives Congress had earlier concluded its ward, local, and state congresses across the country in line with the dictates of the constitution of the political party. Nigerian leaders have been charged to follow the ideas of June 12 and the dispensation of democratic rule in the nation while allowing vote, which is the power of the masses, to count in electoral processes. Ogun State Governor Senator Ibikunle Amoson gave the charge at a special prayer held in memory of Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, the acclaimed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential election in Nigeria. Charity James reports that MK Abiola family house in Gbagura quarters of Abeokuta was the venue of the special memorial prayer for the deceased. Her report.
Basharu Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, popularly known as MK Abiola, was a native of Ojagbo in Gbagura, a quarter in Abeokuta, southwest Nigeria. MK Abiola was famous through his pursuit to democratically lead Nigeria with the aim of transforming lives of Nigerians. He got the massive support of the people, culminating in the overwhelming mandate freely given him at the June 12, 1993 presidential election. Unfortunately, however, the military junta denied him of the mandate, thereby making June 12 a day to be remembered for good, and Basharu MKO Abiola seen as a symbol of liberation by Nigerians both at home and in diaspora.
We want to remember what June 12 stood for. It stood for the people saying our mandate must not be taken or stolen from us.
I think that is the only thing we can do. That legacy must not die. And the torch of that democracy must continue. We must guide that democracy jealously.
21 years after, the families of MK Abiola thought it wise to honor one of their sons in prayer in an Islamic way. According to the cleric, praying for the repose of his soul showed that Abiola was not a self-centered man, adding that he fought for true democracy even unto death. Representing Ogun State Governor Senator Ibikunle Amoson, Secretary to the State Government, Barrister Taiwo Adeoluwa, said Chief MK Abiola was a symbol of unity in the nation, a proud son of Ogun State, urging Nigerians to take a cue from the lessons of June 12.
It is a thing of pride to us, even though Abiola has gone beyond Ogun State, he has gone beyond Nigeria. It's a world brand. 25th anniversary of that freest and fairest election in Nigeria. We thank God that this is where God has brought us. But as we celebrate June 12, we should derive appropriate lessons from what June 12 represented and still represents. That was a day that all Nigerians, irrespective of tribe, irrespective of race, irrespective of color, we were united behind our symbol, which I agree, Chief MK Abiola.
To some of his family members, Chief Abiola should be remembered by Nigeria and Nigerians as a selfless civilian warrior whose struggle should not be forgotten.
He was very humble, very hardworking, and a very kind-hearted person.
Those who really matter do honor him every day. People remember him. You can't have a man like that who actually fulfilled his purpose in his generation and you fail to honor him. Some people are deceiving their own selves, trying to deny what cannot be denied.
Nigeria is not fair to it. These holidays is only for the Southwest, for the APC governors. It should be remembered throughout the country.
Prayers were thereafter offered for the soul of Chief MKO Abiola, his family, Ogun State and Nigeria. Charity James, Ogtv News.
Political office holders in Nigeria have been enjoined to ensure the sustainability of the nation's nascent democracy by ensuring that the expected dividends of democracy reach the generality of the people. This is the cross of opinion of residents of Ogun State who reflected on the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential elections, widely acclaimed to have been won by late Bashoru Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola. Peter Falomo has the story.
June 12 of every year is a day declared as work-free day by governments of western states of Nigeria in commemoration of the annulled June 12, 1993 presidential election, adjudged to be the freest and fairest in the political history of Nigeria, no thanks to the then military government of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. The day is in further recognition of that illustrious son of Ogun State, late Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, the acclaimed winner of the election, and who in the quest to actualize his mandate paid the supreme price, thus laying the foundation for the current democratic dispensation being enjoyed by all. 21 years after the annulment, memories of the cancellation of the election are still fresh on people's minds. They brought their minds to Ogtv News.
That was when Nigerians were expecting the beginning of true democracy and true governance in Nigeria.
It was an embarrassment to the whole nation because it was presumed to have been won by somebody.
There were also words of advice to the current political leaders.
Our leaders now, or our politicians, should try as much as possible to emulate what the man was trying to do then.
So if any one of them can look at God and have faith in him, believe that we are going to account for whatever we are doing. So I think there will be change.
The idea of democracy should be spread, no matter whether you are a Fulani, Hausa or Igbo. They should not discriminate.
Meanwhile, as a way of immortalizing the martyrdom of late Chief Abiola, structures and places have been named after the Gbagura-born indigene of Ogun State, which include the Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola Stadium, Moshood Abiola Polytechnic, June 12 Market, and Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Trade Fair Complex, Okemoson, all within Abeokuta, and many other monuments across the southwestern region of Nigeria. Peter Falomo, Ogtv News.
Late Chief MKO Abiola, as fondly called by everyone, has been adjudged as one of the best men Nigeria has ever produced, given his enviable exploits in business, philanthropy, and politics. This was the viewpoint of Nigerians who spoke to LGTV News on the life and times of Chief MKO Abiola, the acclaimed winner of the June 12, 1993 presidential elections.
Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola was his father's 23rd but first of his father's children to survive infancy, hence the name Kashimawo. Coming from a poor polygamous home, Bashoru MKO Abiola was determined to succeed in life and through dint of hard work rose to the highest level of business success. Looking back at his career as a businessman, he was described as a genius who set up many businesses in Nigeria and even beyond.
Mr. President, on the march again. MKO is our man.
Late MKO Abiola cannot be described as one word. He's a great man, he's a phenomenon.
He was a passionate Pan-Africanist.
It's a great loss.
On the political terrain, late Chief MKO Abiola's love for the downtrodden necessitated his venture into politics to be able to help alleviate people's suffering. The late business mogul joined the race for presidential election in early 90s, contested the election in 1993, and was widely regarded as the winner of the election, whose results were annulled by the military junta.
MKO Abiola, to me, is a complete detribalized man.
It was Muslim ticket. So the religion was pushed aside. At that time, Nigerians forgot the religious differences and voted for the man MKO Abiola.
Others described Chief Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola as a man who knows sympathy and empathy.
He touched so many lives, and that's what actually gave him the courage to vie for the position of the nation's president.
Abiola, as a newspaper man, was a great man. Was a man that would never want his member of staff to suffer. Was a man that cared. He was interested in everything about you as a member of staff of Concord.
From 1972 until his death, Moshood Abiola had been conferred with 197 traditional titles by different communities in Nigeria.
The leadership of the Nigerian students in Ogun State under the umbrella of the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS) and the Joint Campus Committee (JCC) has said the protest by some students to the State Governor's Office led by Falola Ahmed was a masterminded protest and a display of immaturity. NANS chairman in Ogun State, Comrade Ogunshola Okikiola, stated this while addressing journalists at the NUJ Press Center in Iweroyin, Okelewo, Abeokuta. Morenikeji Shobaloju has the story.
On June 12 election, the students said they are judged winner of the freest and fairest election in the history of Nigeria, and the hero of modern democracy in Nigeria, late Moshood Kashimawo Olawale Abiola, must be honored by the federal government.
We want to use this medium to charge the Nigerian government and politicians to work towards ensuring a free, fair general election come 2015, and also demand that every June 12 should be declared a public holiday in Nigeria as a sign of respect for democracy and free and fair election in this country.
Chairman of the National Association of Nigerian Students (NANS) Ogun State Chapter, Comrade Okikiola Ogunshola, said the protest by some students to the Ogun State Governor's Office, as led by Falola Ahmed, was the handwork of some unscrupulous element who want to destabilize the peace of the state and a way of bringing the current administration's effort at rebuilding the education sector to a jeopardy.
What they did was not in the best interest of Nigerian students, and they are not representing the generality of Nigerian students in Ogun State. They are only being sponsored, they are political jobbers who are being sponsored by politicians, who are being sponsored to tarnish the image of the state and to spread false rumor about the state government. On the issue of hiking school fees in Ogun State, being exaggerated by some people who are being sponsored by opposition party to spread false rumor about the school fees in Ogun State tertiary institution. We want to partially agree that education cannot be totally free in Nigeria, but can be highly subsidized to allow the children of the poor to afford.
Comrade Okikiola called on federal government to expedite action at correcting the state of insecurity in the nation and work on the safe return of the over 200 abducted schoolgirls. The industrial action embarked upon by the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics and Colleges of Education, which have lasted for almost 9 months now, was also stressed by the NANS chairman, as he said the development was capable of jeopardizing the nation's future. The NANS leader, however, called on security operatives at the Tai Solarin University of Education, TASUD, to be moderate in their actions and see the students as their own children, brothers and sisters, for peace to reign in the community and by extension, Ogun State. Morenikeji Shobaloju, Ogtv News.
And our foreign news. Parliament in Baghdad delayed voting on a request to grant the Prime Minister emergency powers as the North slips out of government control. Just 128 out of the 325 members of Parliament turned out for the vote on Nouri Maliki's request. In the North, Kurdish forces claimed control of the oil city of Kirkuk, saying government forces had fled. The court secured the area after the cities of Mosul and Tikrit fell to Sunni Islamist insurgents during an advance. And to end the news this morning, we would like you to listen to this message. The fact that you set up a fire does not mean that if you put your hand in the fire, it will not burn you. Credited to late MKO Abiola. We sincerely thank you for being part of the news this morning. There will be more news and reports for you in the course of the day. Good morning.